Okay, so let's. I'm going to do 44 from our book over again. It's not worth much without the sound. Chapter 15. So let's break it down. A certain company believes that 95% of its job applicants are trustworthy. Okay, I'm going to the second paragraph. Okay, so the probability that someone tells the truth is 0.95. Okay? The probability that someone is a liar is 0.05. Okay? Or truth complement. Let's leave it as liar. Okay. Now, based on research, a polygraph can detect 65% of lies, but incorrectly identifies 15% of true statements as lies. Okay, so the probability that it detects a lie, here, let's call it a positive. A probability of a positive. Now this would be a false positive. Is 0.15. So this is the probability of a positive result given that you're telling the truth equals 0.15. That looks kind of confusing. Let me write that again. Doesn't look very good. Okay. So the probability, let's call it a positive, given that you're telling the truth, so this would be a false positive, is 15%. The probability of a negative, given that you're telling the truth, is going to be 0.85. These two have to add up to 1. Now, the probability of a positive, given that you're a liar, is 0.65. And the probability of a negative, so this is a true positive, this is a false negative, the probability of a negative, given that you're a liar, is 0.35. Okay, so the probability that you tell the truth and you get a positive is the probability that you tell the truth times the probability you get a positive given that you're telling the truth, which is going to be 0.95 times 0.15. Okay? Now, the probability that you tell the truth and you get a negative is the probability that you tell the truth times the probability that you get a negative given that you're telling the truth. This is, again, over and over again, we're using the general multiplication rule, which is 0.95 times 0.85. The probability that you get a positive, that you are a liar and you get a positive, equals the probability that you're a liar times the probability that you get a positive given that you're a liar, which is 0.05 times 0.65. And then finally, the probability that you're a liar and you get a negative result, this would be maybe the probability that you're sociopathic or something, would be the probability that you're a liar times the probability you get a negative given that you're a liar. And that would be 0.05 times 0.35. Okay, so we've laid out the 4 possible outcomes. Now these 4 probabilities, these 4 products, should add up to 1. So let's check that out. So we're going to do 0.95 times 0.15 plus 0.95 times 0.85 plus 0.05 times 0.65 plus 0.05 times 0.35, and they add up to 1. Okay, so we know that it'd be very unlikely that we did one of these wrong and they still added up to 1. Okay, now what are they asking us? Okay, what's the probability that a job applicant rejected under suspicion? Okay, so what they're asking us, the probability of a positive given that they're a truth teller. Okay, so that's going to equal the probability that you got a positive and you're a truth teller divided by the probability. Let's see. What's the probability? Here, I got this mixed up. Okay, I got it mixed up. What's the probability that you're trustworthy given that you got a positive? Okay, over the probability that you got a positive. Sorry about that. Okay. So the question is, let me read the question again. What's the probability that a job applicant rejected, okay, under suspicion of honesty? So that's the given. Given that you're rejected, given that you got a positive, if you get a positive result, then you're going to get, that's considered to be a lie, was actually trustworthy. Okay, so the probability of positive and trustworthy is 0.95 times 0.15, 0.95 times 0.15, over the probability of that you got a positive, and there's 2 positive results. Positive, okay, you got a positive and a truth teller, and a positive and a liar. So the positive and the truth teller goes in the numerator and it goes in the denominator, plus the probability that you're a liar and you got a positive, which is 0.05 times 0.65. So let's see what this equals. So 0.95 times 0.15 divided by, open parenthesis, 0.95 times 0.15 plus 0.05 times 0.65. So that probability is 81%. I want to check that answer real quick. Here I'm going to pause this thing just to make sure I didn't goof up. So I'm going to pause this. Okay, I just checked the answer, so that's correct. Now this is problem 46, not 44. I don't know what the heck is wrong with me. This is problem 40. Oh, wait a second. Yeah. I was looking at the wrong. I was looking at the old book. This is 46. Okay, I'll do 44 later. So that's it for 46. The probability that you get a positive, that given you got a positive, that the person was a truth teller, is 81.814. Pretty remarkable, huh? Don't want to use those things in court. That's why they don't use them in court. Okay. Time to stop.